Sigma males are men who choose to live outside of society's expectations. They don't follow trends, they don't try to fit into social hierarchies, and they don't chase after fame or approval. Instead, they live on their own terms, usually quietly, but with strong personal principles. While society praises loud voices and constant sharing, Sigma males value silence, self-reliance, and deep thinking. In today's modern world, Sigma males are feeling more out of place than ever. Society has become focused on appearances, social media, fast rewards, and shallow success. It pushes people to follow rules, fit into groups, and compete constantly. For Sigma males, this is exhausting and pointless. They see through the noise and choose not to play along. This doesn't mean Sigma males are angry or bitter. They simply see things differently. Their focus is on truth, independence, and personal freedom. When society tries to force them into boxes, they quietly step away. They observe, think, and make decisions without needing approval. This mindset is growing stronger as modern society becomes more chaotic and controlling. Many Sigma males are now choosing to fully disconnect. They no longer try to explain themselves. They don't want to argue or prove anything. They're just done. In this video, we'll explore 6 clear reasons why Sigma males are walking away from modern society. These reasons show how deep the disconnect has become and why more men are choosing to live their lives on their own path, no matter what society expects from them. Reason 1. Rejection of societal norms. One of the biggest reasons Sigma males are done with modern society is their complete rejection of social norms. They don't believe in living by someone else's rules just because that's what everyone else does. From a young age, many Sigma males feel out of place. While others try hard to fit in, they naturally stand apart. They don't enjoy groupthink, forced trends, or following the crowd just to be accepted. Modern society puts heavy pressure on people to act, talk, and think in a certain way. If someone doesn't follow the crowd, they're often judged, ignored, or labeled as strange. Sigma males see this clearly and want no part of it. They don't want to fake interests, wear the latest fashion, or copy behaviors just to be liked. That kind of life feels fake and shallow to them. Instead, Sigma males value freedom of thought and behavior. They do what feels right to them, not what's popular. For example, while most people might chase high-paying jobs for status, a Sigma male might choose a quiet job that gives him peace and control over his time. He doesn't care what others think about his choice. He only cares if it feels right for him. This rejection of norms goes beyond surface-level things. Sigma males also think differently. They question popular opinions and don't trust ideas just because they come from authority figures. They want to learn things for themselves. This independent mindset makes them harder to control, which society often doesn't like. People who don't follow the rules are seen as dangerous, but Sigma males don't care about that label. They simply live their truth, regardless of outside judgment. Another reason they reject norms is because they see how often society pushes the wrong values. For example, many modern cultures reward fake confidence, loud opinions, and shallow success. Sigma males see through this. They know that real strength often comes in silence, in thinking deeply, and in staying grounded. They refuse to play games that reward fake behavior or empty status. Sigma males are not trying to rebel just for attention. They're not loud or dramatic. In fact, most of the time they walk away quietly. But make no mistake, their decision to live differently is strong and clear. They are done pretending, done performing, and done living by rules that don't match their values. In relationships, work, and social life, this rejection shows up clearly. They avoid gossip, ignore trends, and refuse to follow empty routines. They create their own structure and their own meaning. This can make them seem cold or distant to others, but in reality, they're just protecting their freedom and peace of mind. Modern society often demands that people be constantly available, constantly performing, and constantly social. Sigma males don't want any of that. They want to be left alone to live honestly and quietly, without being pulled into fake expectations or shallow roles. For them, this isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a form of self-respect. Reason 2. Disillusionment with materialism. Sigma males are deeply disillusioned with how modern society worships materialism. Everywhere they look, people are chasing things: cars, clothes, status, luxury lifestyles. Social media is filled with images of wealth, success, and perfect appearances. But Sigma males see through the illusion. To them, materialism is empty. It's a distraction that leads people away from real meaning and truth. In today's world, people are taught to believe that buying things will make them happy. The more you own, the more successful you seem. But Sigma males know this isn't true. They've seen people with all the wealth in the world still feel lost, anxious, and unfulfilled. That's because material things can't fill emotional or spiritual emptiness. Sigma males understand that real happiness comes from within, not from things. Instead of chasing money or fame, Sigma males value freedom and simplicity. They don't want a big house full of expensive stuff if it means being tied to a stressful job or lifestyle. They would rather live in a small space with peace of mind than in luxury with constant pressure. This way of thinking confuses people who are stuck in the cycle of earning and spending. To those people, Sigma males look lazy or unmotivated, but that's not true at all. Sigma males work hard, but only when it serves a purpose they truly believe in. They don't waste energy climbing the corporate ladder just to earn status. They'd rather build something meaningful on their own terms. Many of them choose creative or independent paths where they can control their time and values. They may live with less money, but they live with more peace, purpose, and control. This disinterest in materialism also shows up in how Sigma males consume. They don't follow trends. They wear what's comfortable, not what's fashionable. They buy what they need, not what looks impressive. Advertising doesn't easily influence them because they aren't trying to impress anyone. They don't care if others see their lifestyle as boring or plain. To them, it's honest. It's real. Sigma males also know that the endless chase for more is a trap. When people base their worth on what they own, they become stuck in fear of losing what they have or not being good enough. Sigma males want no part of that. They define their worth by how they live, not what they own. They're not afraid to let go of things that no longer serve them. Another reason they're done with materialism is because they see its damage. Overconsumption harms the planet, creates debt, and encourages shallow behavior. People start competing over who has more rather than who is more. Sigma males see this clearly and want nothing to do with it. They don't want to waste their lives chasing empty rewards. For Sigma males, true value comes from wisdom, peace, creativity, and freedom. These are things money can't buy. That's why they walk away from materialism. They choose a life that feels rich on the inside, even if it looks simple from the outside. Reason 3. Distrust of mainstream media and information. Sigma males don't trust mainstream media, and that's one of the biggest reasons they're walking away from modern society. In a world flooded with news, opinions, ads, and updates, most people are overwhelmed and easily influenced. But Sigma males don't just accept what they're told. They question everything. They think for themselves. And more often than not, they don't like what they find. Modern media often pushes fear, division, and distraction. Every day there's a new crisis, a new argument, or a trending topic designed to grab attention. Sigma males see how media controls the way people think, feel, and react. They know most content is designed to keep people emotionally hooked, not to inform or empower them. While others get caught up in the noise, Sigma males quietly tune out. They prefer to get their information from independent sources or through direct experience. They don't trust headlines without digging deeper. They don't jump to conclusions just because something is repeated on every channel or trending online. In fact, the more something is pushed by the mainstream, the more likely a Sigma male is to question it. They believe that truth often hides beneath the surface, away from the spotlight. This distrust isn't based on paranoia, it's based on observation. Sigma males notice how media is often shaped by money, politics, or popular opinion. They've seen how facts get twisted, how stories are used to manipulate emotions, and how people are encouraged to pick sides instead of thinking clearly. They choose to step away from that system because it doesn't align with their values of truth, independence, and logic. Social media has made things worse. Information spreads faster than ever, but it's also more shallow and emotional. People are rewarded for being loud, not for being accurate. Sigma males don't want to argue online or get lost in debates that go nowhere. They're not interested in shouting matches, they're interested in clarity. And modern platforms don't offer much of that. This is why many Sigma males limit their time on social media or avoid it completely. They don't need constant updates. They don't want outside voices shaping their mood or thoughts. Instead, they focus on reading, reflecting, and forming their own views over time. They may even spend time in solitude just to clear their minds and connect with their inner voice. This attitude also affects how Sigma males interact with people. When others repeat headlines or quote opinions without thinking them through, Sigma males tend to go quiet. They won't argue, but they also won't join in. They prefer silence to empty conversation. This can make them seem distant or uninterested, but really, they're just protecting their mental space. In a world full of noise, Sigma males value clarity. In a world full of manipulation, they value truth. Their decision to turn away from mainstream media isn't about rejecting reality. It's about choosing their own way of understanding it. They want to think clearly, freely, and independently. That's why they're done trusting the systems that try to think for them. Reason 4. Frustration with superficial relationships. Sigma males value deep, real connections. But modern society is filled with shallow relationships. This is one of the main reasons they distance themselves from social life. They're not interested in small talk, fake smiles, or keeping up appearances. They want honesty, depth, and loyalty. And when they don't find it, they quietly walk away. In today's world, relationships are often based on convenience, not real connection. People interact to gain attention, approval, or social status. Friendships are often built around partying, gossip, or shared interests that fade quickly. To Sigma males, this feels empty. They don't want to invest time and energy in relationships that don't mean anything. They'd rather be alone than surrounded by people who don't truly know them. Sigma males also dislike social games. They don't like pretending to like people or acting a certain way just to fit in. They don't care about being liked by everyone. They care about being real. When someone tries to manipulate or play power games, Sigma males see it quickly and back off. They don't want drama. They don't want fake bonding. They want truth, even if it's quiet and simple. This frustration also shows up in dating. Sigma males often struggle with modern dating culture, which can be focused more on appearances and instant connection than real compatibility. They don't enjoy chasing or performing just to impress someone. They'd rather build something slow and genuine. But since that's rare, many Sigma males choose to stay single until they find someone who truly understands them. In group settings, Sigma males usually keep to themselves. It's not because they're antisocial, it's because they're selective. They listen more than they speak. They observe before they open up. And if a group is filled with gossip, surface talk, or attention-seeking behavior, they won't engage. They don't have the energy or interest for those kinds of interactions. This doesn't mean Sigma males don't want connection. In fact, they crave it, just not the way most people offer it. They value one-on-one conversations, shared values, and quiet loyalty. They want to connect with people who understand their depth, not just their surface. When they find that, they open up completely. But until then, they're fine being alone. Modern society doesn't make space for this kind of connection. It pushes constant socializing, fast friendships, and public approval. Sigma males don't fit into that mold, and they don't want to. They see how much time people waste trying to impress others or be part of every group. To them, it's all noise. Instead, they focus on building real bonds, even if it takes time. They might only have a few close friends, but those friendships are strong, deep, and lasting. They'd rather be misunderstood and alone than fake and surrounded by people who don't truly care. This approach often makes them seem distant or mysterious. But the truth is, Sigma males are just tired of shallow connections. They want honesty, not attention, truth, not trends. That's why they're done with the way modern society handles relationships. Reason 5. Resistance to authority and control. Sigma males have a natural resistance to authority and control. They don't like being told what to do, how to think, or how to live. This mindset sets them apart in a world where people are expected to follow rules, obey systems, and fit into roles without question. For Sigma males, freedom is everything, and anything that threatens that freedom becomes a problem. From schools to workplaces to government systems, modern society is filled with structures that demand obedience. Rules, schedules, expectations, they're everywhere. And while many people accept these systems as part of life, Sigma males constantly question them. They ask, why should I do this? Who does it benefit? Is this the best way? If the answer doesn't make sense to them, they resist. This doesn't mean they're reckless or lawless. In fact, many Sigma males follow rules when it serves a purpose. But they follow by choice, not by pressure. They need to feel like they are in control of their own lives. If they sense someone trying to dominate them, manage them, or push them into a box, they quietly pull back or leave entirely. Workplaces are one of the biggest areas where this resistance shows. Many jobs require people to follow strict routines, obey bosses, and do tasks without asking questions. Sigma males struggle in those environments. They want freedom to make their own choices, use their creativity, and manage their own time. That's why many of them start their own businesses, work freelance, or take on roles where they have full control. It's not about ego, it's about independence. Even in personal relationships, Sigma males need space. They don't like clingy behavior, pressure to conform, or constant monitoring. If a partner tries to control them emotionally or socially, they shut down. They need to feel trusted, not managed, and they give that same trust in return. This resistance also shows up when dealing with large systems, governments, corporations, media, or institutions. Sigma males are deeply skeptical of systems that use power to control behavior or limit thought. They question rules that seem unfair, challenge authority when it lacks logic, and ignore trends that feel forced. They don't just go along with things because everyone else is doing it. Society often labels this attitude as difficult or rebellious, but it's really just self-protection. Sigma males aren't trying to create chaos, they're trying to avoid being trapped. They've seen what happens when people give up their freedom for comfort or approval, and they've chosen another path. This mindset can create conflict. Bosses may find them uncooperative. Partners might find them hard to figure out. Institutions may find them unwilling to comply. But Sigma males aren't trying to please any of those systems. They're trying to stay true to themselves. In the end, Sigma males would rather live a quiet, independent life than succeed by giving up control. They are willing to walk away from jobs, relationships, or systems that don't respect their freedom. That's not weakness, that's strength. It's the strength to say no to anything that doesn't align with their values. That's why they are done with a society that demands blind obedience. They won't be controlled, managed, or shaped. They'll think, choose, and act for themselves, even if it means walking alone. Reason 6. Pursuit of self-sufficiency. Sigma males deeply value self-sufficiency. More than money, fame, or even comfort, they want to be able to take care of themselves. They don't like depending on others, and they definitely don't like being dependent on systems that can change or fail without warning. In a world that encourages convenience and reliance, Sigma males are walking the opposite path. Modern society pushes people to rely on outside systems. From food delivery to financial services to mental health advice from influencers, most people are constantly turning outward for answers and support. but Sigma males turn inward. They want to build the skills, knowledge, and mindset needed to handle life on their own. That includes everything from cooking, fixing things, managing money, learning new trades, or simply knowing how to be alone with their thoughts. This drive isn't about being macho or trying to prove something. It's about freedom. The more skills a Sigma male has, the less he depends on a boss, a partner, or a system to survive. This brings peace of mind. It means that if society collapses, or if jobs disappear, or if relationships fail, he can still move forward. He trusts himself, and that's more valuable to him than anything money can buy. Many Sigma males build quiet, disciplined routines. They may work out alone, learn online, study in silence, or build small side projects without telling anyone. They don't do this for attention. They do it because it gives them control over their life. The more capable they are, the less vulnerable they feel. While the world gets louder and more dependent, they get quieter and more independent. They also prefer to make their own decisions without outside influence. For example, while others might follow popular diets, trends, or opinions, a Sigma male will do his own research. He'll test what works for him. He's not interested in copying others. He wants to master his own path. This mindset creates confidence that isn't based on approval. It's based on ability. Sigma males also focus on emotional self-sufficiency. They don't need constant validation or support from others. That doesn't mean they never feel emotion. It just means they've learned how to process those emotions privately. They journal, think deeply, or spend time in nature. They don't rush to vent on social media or call 10 people for advice. They sit with their thoughts, face their feelings, and come out stronger. Of course, this doesn't mean they reject all help or connection. If someone truly adds value to their life, they'll welcome it. But they never want to be in a position where their happiness or survival depends on someone else's approval or support. That's why they're always building themselves up quietly behind the scenes. In a society built on quick fixes and outside solutions, self-sufficiency is a rare trait. But for Sigma males, it's non-negotiable. They'd rather learn slowly and master life step by step than stay comfortable but helpless. This pursuit makes them more grounded, less reactive, and more prepared for whatever comes. That's why Sigma males are done relying on modern systems. They don't want to wait for help, they want to be the help. They don't want to be saved, they want to be capable. And in a world full of dependency, their self-sufficiency is a quiet form of rebellion. Sigma males are done with modern society, not out of anger or hate, but because they've simply outgrown it. They've seen the cracks in the system, the fake rules, the shallow relationships, the endless chase for money, and the pressure to conform. Instead of trying to fix something that doesn't match their values, they choose to walk away. Each reason we've explored, rejecting societal norms, seeing through materialism, distrusting mainstream media, avoiding fake connections, resisting control, and building self-sufficiency, shows how far Sigma males have stepped outside the system. They don't argue, complain, or try to change everyone else. They just live differently, and that's what makes them powerful. Their strength isn't loud, it's quiet, focused, and deeply intentional. While the world rushes around them, they move at their own pace. While others follow, they think. While most try to fit in, they stand alone. The Sigma male isn't broken, he's simply done with pretending. He's not interested in approval. He's focused on truth, peace, and freedom. And in doing so, he's creating a life that many people only dream about.